bhrityasya bhritya iti mam tava lokanatha. Bhritya is a servant. Tad bhritya bhritya, servant of servant. Tad bhritya bhritya paricharaka, servant of the servant of the servant. Tad bhritya bhritya paricharaka, bhritya bhritya, servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. And two more servants are added at the end. Servant power 7. In this material world, the higher we are in the hierarchy, the greater is considered our position. I am great. But in the spiritual realm, the lower we are, the more we consider ourselves low, the greater we are in the eyes of Krishna. May not be in the eyes of people in this material world. When we were sitting at the foothills of Govardhan, now mats were there. Earlier we had smaller mats in the previous retreat, 2 days back, Gurujan Prabhu's retreat. We could see the dust, we could touch the dust. We also could see some small blades of grass coming out. I just picked up one. Uddhava wants to be like this. Do I want to be like this? Do I have the humility to aspire to be like this? To be trampled by so many pilgrims, residents, whoever comes, even animals, monkeys. Uddhava is aspiring for that. To be literally blade of grass there. We'll put a mat on the grass and we'll sit there. But that's Uddhava's aspiration. Inconceivable humility. I don't know in which lifetime can a struggling sadhaka dozing off in japa can actually aspire for this degree of humility. Uddhava is saying, Asamaho charanarenu dushamaham syam Vrindavane kimapi gulmalataushadhina Yadustyajam svajanamarya patham chahitva Bhejur mukunda padavim srutibhirva brugyam Asamaho charanarenu dushamaham syam. Charanarenu, I want the dust from the lotus feet of these gopis. To receive that dust, yesterday we were discussing. If Uddhava, the prince of Mathura city, goes and asks his little gopis, can you please give your dust? They'll feel very shy, they'll feel very embarrassed. No, we will not give, we will not give. So Uddhava had an idea, he's very intelligent. He thought, if I ask them, they will not give. Better I become a blade of grass or a gulmalata or a creeper in Vrindavan. If I am not qualified, if Krishna feels that I am not qualified to become even a blade of grass or a lata, creeper in Vrindavan, at least let me become a creeper outside Vrindavan. Just in the immediate outskirts of Vrindavan. Once in a while, sometimes when these glorious gopis step out of Vrindavan for some reason, at least at that time I will get their dust. Vrindavane kimapi gulmalataushadhina. Kimapi gulmalat, kimapi, some gulmalata, aushadhina, some herb, some blade of grass. This is his aspiration. This is the aspiration of a constant, consistent associate of Krishna, cousin of Krishna, who is almost like a brother, who is like a replica of Krishna. See Uddhava's position. If you read the 3rd canto of Srimad-Bhagavatam, 4th chapter, Uddhava's position is described by Krishna himself. Krishna concluded his pastimes and he wanted to go to the spiritual world. His last few days left. Then Krishna thought. Krishna wanted to conclude his pastimes and he thought, I give my association to so many devotees in Vrindavan, Mathura, Dwaraka, Hastinapur, Ayodhya, Kundinapur. I went to Sutalaloka, I went to Svargaloka, I went to Indraprastha. I gave my association to so many devotees at so many places. But one place I could not go. Which is that? Badarikashram. So Krishna wanted a bona fide, authorized representative, a devotee who can actually represent himself, who is like a replica of himself. In fact, in Krishna's words, who is non-different from himself. Krishna wanted such a devotee to go and give his message to the sages of Badarikashram, and Krishna chose Uddhava. Uddhava has to go on my behalf. When he speaks this Krishna conscious philosophy to the sages of Badarikashram, it's as good as me speaking. And Krishna spoke Uddhava Gita, the longest philosophical episode in Srimad-Bhagavatam, 11th canto, which is longer than even Bhagavad Gita. Krishna revealed deeper insights in Uddhava Gita, which he has not revealed even in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is pure philosophy, but Uddhava Gita has so many stories also. He spoke to Uddhava, his associate. And Krishna is hardly 10 and a half years old. He came to Mathura. Since then, till Krishna departed, about 110 years, more than a century, Uddhava got association of Krishna. While Vrajavasis got Krishna's association for a decade, Uddhava got Krishna's association for a century, more than a century. And that Uddhava, who is profusely blessed with Krishna's personal association, is wanting to become a creeper in Vrindavan. And if he says, if my application will not be accepted by Krishna, I'll put another application. If I am not qualified to be a creeper or a blade of grass in Vrindavan, let me become so in the outskirts of Vrindavan, just in the vicinity of Vrindavan, closer to Vrindavan. That is his longing. Inconceivable humility. So, when someone is absorbed in this mode of being a servant of Krishna, in this humble mode of recognizing oneself as an insignificant servant of Krishna's devotees, then one has absolutely no fear in this material world. But such a devotee has another type of fear. You know what is the other flavor of fear? Spiritual fear. Materially there is no fear. But on a spiritual plane there is some fear. The fear of fall down. The fear of distraction. The fear of displeasing Krishna. I must do my service sincerely so that Krishna is pleased with my seva. Otherwise, I am missing a very, very glorious opportunity to serve Krishna. So I must do this service very meticulously to please Krishna. So there is an anxiety, there is a fear in the heart of a devotee. That is fear of displeasing Krishna. Secondly, there is a fear of Maya. Although I am experienced in bhakti, although I am very, very, I have been chanting and hearing and I am doing devotional service for such a long time, still Maya is so powerful. Maya can distract me and allure me at any moment. Therefore, I must be very, very careful. So, a devotee has a healthy fear of fall down or distractions. Secondly, a devotee has fear of displeasing Krishna by not effectively rendering service that is assigned to him. These are the fears. These are bona fide fears. We should have these fears. We should not be overconfident. We should have this kind of healthy fears. But the other fear of losing power, position, all this devotee doesn't have. So in such a humble state of detachment and humility, one can effectively chant the holy names of Krishna. In fact, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu defines a devotee in connection with how much he or she chants the holy names of the Lord. So we have some printouts. Morning I was going spontaneous, but you can give to devotees, Prabhu? No? Is it the right? Okay, fine. They can share. They are very popular shlokas, but I thought they will see. You can give me also one copy so that. Yeah. You go to the second page. Whoever has. If you don't have, not an issue. These are not very difficult slokas. We can just recite them along. Yeah, you can share in the group. You can see on your phones. Phones are allowed? We are keeping aside phones. Just to see shlokas, they are allowed. Okay, fine. So these are very simple Bengali shlokas, interesting shlokas. I thought we'll just recite them. Are we ready to recite? You let me know when you're ready. So meanwhile, let me give the background of the shlokas. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made Jagannath Puri as his headquarters. Jagannath Puri's headquarters. So he would stay there only, and all the Navadvipasis have to come all the way from Bengal to Orissa to meet Lord Chaitanya every year, Rath Yatra time. Actually, they stay in Jagannath Puri for 4 months during this monsoon. So every year they would come. And they would attend Rath Yatra along with Lord Chaitanya. They would attend this Dola Yatra, then other Janmashtami and other monsoon festivals in Jagannath Puri. And then they will go back to Navadvip. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is bidding farewell to these great devotees, the devotees of Kulinagram ask Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu, we are leaving. Any final instructions? We'll face this on Saturday. On the last day of our Sharanagati retreat, we'll leave our hearts in Vrindavan and Govardhan, and we will ask Maharaj, any final instructions, any final takeaways, so that we can try to implement some of this. Actually, any spiritual gathering, whether it is a retreat like this or a yatra or something else, whenever there is a big spiritual gathering for a festival, for a retreat, then devotees' minds are so immersed in that consciousness of that gathering, and we feel a deeper sense of connection with other devotees, and at the time of leaving that place, after spending 4 days or 5 days or 1 week or 10 days, the moment of leaving that place is very painful. We feel that sense of separation. And if we don't feel that sense of separation, we have not sufficiently experienced that spiritual sangha. When we come in contact with other devotees, the association, the sangha of Vaishnavas should nourish us, should enliven us in bhakti. And whenever we are departing, some pain should be there in the heart. I experienced this vividly in 2007. In 2007, I was working in Pune, Force Motors. In those days, we used to have Pune yatras for 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it was in Krishna Chandra Prabhu's home in Pune. His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj would lead, and sometimes other Prabhupada disciples will come. Once His Holiness Niranjana Swami Maharaj came, and many other devotees were there giving lectures. 3 days was intense hearing, chanting, kirtan, some dramas, prasadam. Very, very enlivening morning program. After 3 days of such wonderful gathering, I was just moving out of that bungalow, that venue, going back to my workplace. My God, it was so painful. My God, I have to leave this place. These devotees are nice. Then next year I joined Chapati. Right. So every day is yatra in one sense. Anyways, our yatra may last for 3 days or 7 days or 10 days. But the yatra of these devotees of Navadvip, that lasts for 4 months. 4 months of constant association with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, attending Rath Yatra, Janmashtami, Radhashtami, all these great festivals with Lord Chaitanya. Every day, some devotee will call Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please come and take prasad in our place. And some devotees who did not get opportunity, they will cook at their home, they will come and bring it and give it to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Govinda has to stack them. Such wonderful, enlivening period of 4 months, monsoon. So when they were leaving, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we need some instruction. Now let's recite some of these shlokas. Tabe Ramananda Ara Satyaraja Khana Prabhura Charane Kichu Kaila Nivedana. So when Mahaprabhu was bidding farewell to all these devotees, Tabe Ramananda Ara Satyaraj Khan. So these 2 devotees, Ramananda and Satyaraj Khan, they are like prominent devotees in the Kulinagram area. They asked Lord Chaitanya, Prabhura Charane Kichu Kaila Nivedana. Nivedana is an application or a request. They asked, Lord Chaitanya, we have a request, we have an application, we want to appeal something.
What is that? Grihastha Vishayi Ami Kimora Sadhane Shri Mukhe Agnakara Prabhu Nivedi Charane. Very humbly these devotees are saying, Lord Chaitanya's personal associates, they are saying, Grihastha Vishayi Ami. We are simple householders. Vishayi means one who is so much absorbed in materialistic activities, sense objects. So, as householders, we are too much engrossed in so many materialistic activities, although they are not, they are Vaishnavas. Kimora sadhane, what is our sadhana? What should be our spiritual practice when we go back home? Last 4 months have been very blissful because we are in your association. But now we have to go back. We will not have you. What are we supposed to do? What sadhana, what practice are we supposed to do? They asked. Then, Sri Mukhe Agnakara Prabhu Nivedi Charane. We are submitting this humble appeal at your lotus feet. Agnakara, please instruct us. Please give us instruction. Then, Prabhu Kahena Krishna Seva Vaishnava Sevan Nirantara Karas Krishna Nama Sankirtan. Prabhu Kahena, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke. Krishna Seva Vaishnava Sevan. He is giving instructions. Number 1, Krishna Seva. Worship the Supreme Lord Krishna. Render service unto him. You have deities at your home? Worship. Second instruction, Vaishnava Sevan. Also serve Vaishnavas. Not only Krishna, serve Vaishnavas. Third, Nirantara Kara Krishna Nama Sankirtan. Nirantara means without any interruptions, without any gaps. Please do Nama Sankirtan. Please chant the holy names of Krishna. Only 3 instructions. Krishna Seva, Vaishnava Seva, Nam Sankirtan. 3 things. Now, when an instruction is given, you need to ask for clarification also, if it is not clear to you. So, Satya Raja Bale Vaishnava Chiniba ke mane Ke Vaishnava Kahatara Samanya Lakshani. Out of the 3 instructions given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, 2 are very clear. Krishna Seva, we have to worship Krishna, clear. Nama Sankirtan, chant his holy names, that is also clear. But third one is not very clear. Vaishnava Sevan. Serve Vaishnavas, it is clear, right? What's the ambiguity here? Ambiguity is who is a Vaishnava. How do we recognize a Vaishnava? How do we understand who is a Vaishnava and who is not? Whose seva should we do? Mahaprabhu clarified. Prabhu kahe yara mukhe suniye kabar. Krishna nama se pujya sreshtha sabakar. Prabhu kahe yara mukhe suni ekabar. If you hear the holy name of Krishna emanating from the mouth of a person even once, understand he is a Vaishnava. Prabhu kahe yara mukhe suni ekabar. Krishna nama sei puja sreshtha sabakar. Krishna nama, he is chanting Krishna nama even once. Sei puja, he is worshipable. Sreshtha sabakar, he is best of all. Mahaprabhu gives this definition. What is the definition of a Vaishnava? One who chants the name of Krishna. So let's go to Bhagavatam for a minute. You can't avoid, I go to different places while discussing something. In the 6th canto of Bhagavatam, there is this description of Ajamil Kanda. After this whole Ajamil episode is over, there is another conversation between Yamaraj and Yamadutas. All the Yamadutas went to Yamaraj and asked that, we were trying to execute your instruction in arresting Ajamil, but we were defeated. So you did not come to protect us. They were protesting because they did not get protection. They were protesting against their master. If you don't bring that Vishnu Dutas to hell and punish them, we consider that we are serving a firefly. We thought you are the authority to punish sinful people, but now your order is completely surpassed by these 4 effulgent personalities. As soon as Ajamil chanted Narayana, 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 these 4 Yamadutas came there, Vishnu Dutas came and protected Ajamil. They have cut our ropes, they have chased us away, they have threatened us. So it's a long story. Yamaraj, when he was challenged by his kinkaras, Yamadutas, he was not offended. Generally, when the subordinate comes to the boss and challenges, we are like a firefly. So it's very demeaning. It's very humiliating situation for the boss. But here, this boss became very happy and blissful. Why did the boss become blissful? Because for the first time, these Yama Dutas uttered the name Narayana. That gave an opportunity to Yamaraj to speak something about Narayana. Give a holy name seminar to them. So far, he was only telling all these Yamadutas, boil this sinful soul in Kumbhipaka hell for the next 10,000 years. Take him to Sachimoka heaven, hellish planet, and torture him for the next 20,000 years. So these were the conversations between Yamaraj and Yamadutas. But first time, the conversation became spiritual. About holy name. So he spoke a lot about holy name, and in that big series, there is one beautiful shloka. He said, "Te deva siddha parigita pavitra gatha ye sadhavo samadrisho bhagavat prapannah tanno pasidat harer gadaya bhiguptan naisham vayam nachavayah prabhavama dande." You Yamadutas, you dare to go and arrest Ajamil? Please understand the glories of devotees. Te deva siddha parigita pavitra gatha. All the devatas and siddhas, they perfectly glorify these devotees. Pavitra gatha, the pure character and pure life of these great devotees is praised even by great devatas and siddhas. Ye sadhavo samadrisho bhagavat prapannah. They are great sadhakas. Samadrisha, they have this opulence of equanimity, quality of equanimity. Bhagavat prapanna, they are completely surrendered unto the Lord. Tanno pasidata harer gadaya bhiguptan. Never approach them. Never approach devotees of the Lord. Why? Harer gadaya abhiguptan. Lord Hari's gada, Kaumodiki gada is constantly circling them, protecting them. They are always under the protection of this circle, within this circle. Whether you see a gada moving around these devotees or not, there is one gada. If any gada tries to harm them, this gada will hit their head. If any demoniac person tries to harm a devotee, this gada will punish them. Gada is always tainted by the blood of these demoniac people. So after this, Yamaraj very emphatically gave the SOP of Yamalok. Gave some nice quotes to be kept in the notice board of Yamalok, so that Yamadutas will see that notice board, very clearly read it before catching any sinful souls. This is one which we already discussed. The second one is Jihvanavakti Bhagavad Gunanamadheyam Chetascha Nasmarati Taccharanara Vindam Krishnaya no namati yachira ekadapi Tananavadhamasato Krita Vishnu Krityan. Who is eligible to go to hell? Yamaraj says. These are bona fide statements. Yamaraj's policies there. Yamaloka's policies I am reading now. First, Jihva na Vakti Bhagavad Gunanamadheyam. One who has not uttered the holy name of Krishna even once in their life. Jihva na Vakti Bhagavad Gunanamadheyam. If they have not utilized their tongue to chant Krishna's name or glorify Krishna's qualities even once in life, they will be taken to hell. Chetascha nasmarati taccharanara vindam. If they have not utilized their minds to remember and meditate on the lotus feet of Krishna even once, they can go to hell. Third, Krishna yano namati yachira ekadapi. If they have not offered obeisances to Krishna even once, they can go to hell. But not those who are accustomed to chant the holy names of the Lord. Even if they sleep in japa, no problem. It's not your job. There are devotees who can streamline their japa. But Yamadutas, you cannot touch them. Tanana yadhamasato krita Vishnu Krityan. Bring such people. Akrita Vishnu Krityan, they have not done anything in connection with Krishna or Vishnu. Therefore, bring them. So, if one has not chanted the holy name of Krishna even once, they are eligible to go to hell. But Mahaprabhu says, if they have chanted the holy name of Krishna even once, they are Sreshta, Pujya, they are the best. So he says, Krishna Nama Sei Pujya Sreshta Sabakar. Why? What is so special about this Krishna Nama? See this. Eka Krishna Nama Kare Sarva Papakshaya. Eka Krishna Nama Kare Sarva Papakshaya. Navavidha Bhakti Purna Nama Haite Haya. See the power of holy name? Mahaprabhu is speaking this. Eka Krishna Nama Kare Sarva Papakshaya. Just one name of Krishna has the capacity to destroy all our sins, all our sinful reactions. Sarva Papakshaya. One Krishna Nama is sufficient. In fact, there are other references that say that a conditioned soul does not have the capacity to commit as many sinful activities as one holy name can eradicate. Right? So one holy name is sufficient to eradicate as many sins as you can possibly commit or think of committing. Eka Krishna Nama Kare Sarva Papakshaya. Navavidha Bhakti Purna Nama Haite Haya. Navavidha Bhakti, we know. What are they? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasivanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. So the remaining 8 processes of bhakti are incomplete without nama. Shravanam, Kirtanam. That Kirtanam adds completeness to Shravanam, Smaranam, Padasivanam, etc. etc. That's the power of chanting. That's the significance of chanting in the process of bhakti from Mahaprabhu's words. More. Atayeva yara mukhe eka krishnanam Seita Vaishnava Kariha Tahara Saman. Atayeva Yara Mukhe Eka Krishnanam. Therefore, please understand, if somebody chants Krishnanam even once, you have to give them Samman. He says in the next line, Seita Vaishnava Kariha Tahara Samman. Please understand, he's a Vaishnava. And you have to do Samman. Samman means you have to respect them. This is Mahaprabhu's instruction to kilogram devotees. Clear? So next, they took this instruction. Oh, we have to serve such a Vaishnava. That's amazing. Let's go back. So they went. They spent 8 months in Navadvip. Again, they came back for the next Rath Yatra. Again, they spent 4 months here during monsoon. When they were leaving, they asked the same question again. Sometimes devotees ask the same question again and again. Have you noticed? Same question. Maybe some little vocabulary change, or some tone change, or the mood change. But ultimately, same. If you take notes of that question, same thing will come. So they ask the same question. Then Mahaprabhu gave an answer which is little more intense in their temperature. Answers will change sometimes. Although question is same, answer may not always be the same. Oh, he's asking the same question means he needs little more intensity. Let me increase the temperature now. Right? So Mahaprabhu increased the temperature when they asked the same question next year. Prabhu kahe Vaishnava seva nama sankirtan Duyi kara shighra pabe Sri Krishna charan. So these Kulinagram Vasis asked Mahaprabhu, what are we supposed to do when we go back? Mahaprabhu said, Vaishnava Seva and Nama Sankirtan. So you do both, then you will attain Krishna's lotus feet. Then these devotees asked, Teho kahe ke Vaishnava kitara lakshan Tabe hasi kahe Prabhu jani taraman. Then Mahaprabhu smiled. When a devotee, when the Lord heard this question, he understood. Last year they asked the same question and they are asking the same question again now. Then he smiled. Then in that smile, through that smile, Mahaprabhu revealed that he understood their heart because they wanted more insight into it. Last year, Mahaprabhu spoke 3-4 shlokas about Vaishnava Seva, but they wanted little deeper understanding of it. So Mahaprabhu understood it and said, Krishna nama nirantaraya haravadane Sei Vaishnava Sreshta Bhaja Tahara Charane. Krishna Nama Nirantarata Yahara Vadane Sei Vaishnava Sreshta Bhaja Tahara Charane. One who chants the holy name of Krishna Nirantara constantly is a Vaishnava Sreshta. In the previous year, he gave one answer. One who chants the holy name of Krishna even once is a Vaishnava. Now, one who chants the holy name of Krishna repeatedly and constantly is a Vaishnava. See, say Vaishnava Sreshta Bhajatahara Sarana. He is the best of all Vaishnavas. You should worship their lotus feet. Right? So earlier he said, say Puja, he is worshipable, Sreshta Sabhagar is best of all. But again he is saying, one who chants constantly is a better Vaishnava. Now, next year, same thing. They went back with this instruction. They started serving those devotees who are constantly chanting. 8 months passed. They came back, attended Rath Yatra in Jagannath Puri. 4 months passed in Jagannath Puri. Again, they asked the same question. What are we supposed to do when we go back? He said, you do Vaishnava Seva. Who is a Vaishnava? They're asking. Varshantara Taratamya Varshantare Punahatara Aicha Prashna Kaila Vaishnavera Taratamya Prabhu Sikhaila. So next year when they asked the same question, Mahaprabhu actually spoke about Taratamya, the hierarchy of Vaishnavas. He said, Yahara Darshane Mukhe Aise Krishna Nam Yahara Darshane Mukhe Aise Krishna Nam Tahare Janiha Tumi Vaishnava Pradhan. Just by seeing a Vaishnava, if you are inspired to chant the holy names of the Lord, he is the best of all Vaishnavas. He is the foremost of all Vaishnavas, Vaishnava Pradhan. So Mahaprabhu gave 3 levels of Vaishnavas. One who chants the holy name even once. Second, one who chants the holy name constantly. Third, one who inspires others to chant. So, Krama kari kahe Prabhu Vaishnava Lakshan. Vaishnava Vaishnavatara Ara Vaishnavatam. The first definition is of a Vaishnava. Second is Vaishnavatara, better Vaishnava. Third is Vaishnavatama, best of all Vaishnavas. Right? So, the mission of human life is definitely to chant the holy names of the Lord. But to come to a stage where we constantly chant Kirtanaya Sadaharihi, then even higher than that is to make everyone chant the holy names constantly. Like you see, in the now we can see Prabhupada right in front of us with a book in front of him. Right in the first chapter of the first canto of Srimad-Bhagavatam, while giving a purport to the second shloka, Dharma projita kaitavotra paramo nirmatsaranam satam. In this shloka, Prabhupada gives a definition of non-envy. Nirmatsaranam satam vedyam, right? One who is non-envious can understand Srimad-Bhagavatam. That's the meaning there. So, what is non-envy? Prabhupada gives 3 levels of non-envy. First level is not to envy another devotee or another personality who may have something more than you. Right? Generally, envy comes in the heart of a person who wants something which others have. Oh, he has it or she has it. I don't have it. There is envy. I want it. There is envy. He's in a better position. I don't have. He is something which I am not. There is envy in the heart. So to not have that bitter feeling is the basic non-spicy vanilla flavor of non-envy. The basic level of non-envy. A level which is higher than that is to be their genuine well-wisher. First level is at least you are not uncomfortable seeing someone else's success. But the second level is you are a genuine well-wisher of that person. In fact, you are assisting them also to become successful. Third level is to establish a competitionless society with God in center. You can read, these are the exact statements that Prabhupada writes. To establish a competitionless society with God in center means not just you are not envying someone, not just you are being well-wisher of someone, you want everyone to be non-envious well-wisher of everyone. That is real non-envy. That's the third level of non-envy. Because many of these definitions or terms in our scriptures have very, very deeper levels of understanding. If you read Srimad-Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita or any other Vaishnava scripture once, we can never claim a complete understanding of that. If we claim so, we need to understand that we have not understood. This is not like a physics or chemistry textbook. Once you read it, done. Newspaper. Even if you read it half or one-fourth or headlines also, looks like you have understood the whole thing. Because that's material subject thing. And after 10 days or 20 days, it becomes totally irrelevant to us. But these are eternally relevant to us. They keep on eternally revealing fresher and newer perspectives to us in reciprocation with our consciousness. To the degree we are mature, to the degree we are pure, to that degree, Bhagavatam will reveal its inner meanings, inner insights. Non-envy is not just not envying someone. A deeper understanding is being a well-wisher. A much deeper understanding is making everyone a well-wisher. Vaishnava is not just one who chants once, one who chants constantly, and one who inspires everyone to chant. Deeper levels. So Mahaprabhu took 3 years to present these 3 levels, and we took few minutes to go through them. But we may take a few lifetimes to implement them, and that's a different thing. But Mahaprabhu, even to reveal this knowledge also, 3 years passed. So now let's see what's the time now? 6:18. Oh, we have only 12 minutes. So we'll discuss some important instructions given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on chanting. Ghareya karasada Krishna Sankirtan Krishna Nama Krishna Katha Krishna Aradhan. So this is a consistent instruction of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whomever he meets at the time of departure. So he says, chant the holy names of the Lord, serve Vaishnavas, worship Krishna. So there are constant instructions, whether he meets Vasudeva Lapar or Kurma Brahman or these Kulinagram devotees and many other Bengal devotees, he has a consistent instruction. Krishna Namaye Ananda Sindhu Aswadan Brahmananda Tara Age Khato Dakasam. Krishna Namaye Ananda Sindhu Aswadan, for one who is relishing the nectar, Ananda Sindhu, nectar of holy name of Krishna. Brahmananda is like a small puddle of water. It's insignificant. This is Ananda Sindhu. It's an ocean of Ananda, and that is some insignificant pond, rivulet, or a small reservoir of water which will become dry as soon as sun starts shining high in the sky. Just 2 days of summer is sufficient to dry up this lake. But the Ananda Sindhu of chanting Krishna Nama will never dry up because it's an ocean. Ocean will never get dried up. So when Maya, the heat of Maya is scorching like summer sun, then the so-called purity or austerity or any purification that we acquire by karma, gnana, yoga path cannot give you sufficient protection. Because the credits, quote unquote, spiritual credits or pious credits that we acquire by following karma, gnana, yoga path are like little water in a small lake. But when the scorching rays of summer are falling on that lake, this lake will dry up very fast. Similarly, when the scorching heat of Maya touches a karmi or a gnani or yogi, they cannot survive it. They cannot survive. They will just deviate from spiritual path, or they cannot survive in that line. But a devotee who is experiencing an ocean of bliss in the heart by chanting Krishna's name, by following bhakti path, by actually experiencing Krishna's reciprocation within the heart, even the scorching rays of Maya cannot do anything to such a devotee. That's why in the 4th canto of Bhagavatam, the 4 Kumaras say, यत्पादपङ्कजपलासविलासभक्त्या कर्माशयं ग्रथितमुद्ग्रथयन्ति सन्तः तद्वन्न रिक्तमतयो यतयोऽपि रुद्धः श्रोतो गणस्तमरणं भज वासुदेवम्. यत्पादपङ्कजपलासविलासभक्त्या, when you worship the lotus feet of the Lord with bhakti, karmashayam grithitamudratayanti santa, all your karmashaya, your deep-rooted desires for sense enjoyment are uprooted. All anarthas will be uprooted by sincerely following the practice of bhakti. But tadvanna riktamatayo yatayopi ruddha, those who are devoid of devotional service, even if they try so hard, they can never even give up their material desires or lusty desires, what to speak of attaining Krishna prema, etc., etc. Therefore, Sroto Ganastamaranam Bhaja Vasudevam. It's conclusively established that you should do bhajan of Vasudeva, nothing else. So coming back to this, Mahaprabhu says, Nama Sankirtana Haite Sarvanarthanasha Sarva Shubhodaya Krishna Premira Ullasa. Coincidentally, the shloka that I just quoted from Srimad-Bhagavatam 4th canto is very much in line with this shloka of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By following other processes, even our anarthas like lust, envy, pride will not be eradicated. But holy name, the process of bhakti can eradicate. Mahaprabhu is saying something similar. Nama Sankirtana Haite Sarvanarthanasha. By doing Nama Sankirtan, all anarthas are destroyed. Then, not just destruction of anarthas, Sarva Shubhodaya, all auspiciousness will be invoked in our lives. Krishna Premira Ullasa. So Ullas means we'll be joyful in Krishna Prema. So in this context, let me quote another shloka from Padyavali, a little longer shloka. Try to recite it after me. Vepante duritani moha mahima sammohamalambate. Vepante duritani moha mahima sammohamalambate. Satankam nakharanjanim kalayati Shri Chitragupta kriti. Satankam nakharanjanim kalayati Shri Chitragupta skriti. Sanandam madhuparka sambhriti vidhau vedha karotyudyamam. Sanandam madhuparka sambhriti vidhau vedha karotyudyamam. Vaktum namnita vishwarabhilashite bhumah kiman yatparam. Vaktum namnita vishwarabhilashite bhumah kiman yatparam. It's maybe tough to recite the shloka, but meaning will be very exciting. You're excited to know the meaning? Vepante duritani. You remember first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Vepatuscha sharire me roma harshasya jayate. You remember? Gandivam samsrate hastat tvakchaiva paridahyate. Arjuna says, Vepatuscha sharire me. My body is trembling. Roma harshasya jayate. My hairs are standing on end. Not in ecstasy, but in fear. Right? You remember that Bhagavad Gita shloka? So Arjuna is experiencing that his body is trembling. Here what is trembling? Vepante duritani. Duritani means sins. Vepante means they tremble. When you chant the holy names of Krishna, all your sins will tremble in fear and they will run away. That's the first effect. So Vepante duritani means your sins and sinful reactions and sinful proclivities will tremble and they will run away. Holy name will just chase them away, right? Second point. Vepante duritani is over. Next. Moha mahima sammoha malambati. Moha means illusion, delusion, bewilderment, confusion, right? Moha mahima means greatness, the power of moha. So the mahima of moha is so intense. Generally, mahima word is used to indicate something positive, but here Rupa Goswami expertly used it to describe moha. There is moha mahima, means the extent to which Maya can bewilder us is unimaginable and inconceivable. Moha mahima. What will happen to that moha mahima? Sammoha malambate. That moha will become sammoha. Means that illusion will get bewildered when you chant the holy names of Krishna. Right? The illusion will become scared. The illusory energy is bewildering and confusing everybody in this world, but the power of holy name is such that it can bewilder the bewildering energy. It can put the illusory energy in thorough illusion. That is the power of holy name. Vepante duritani moha mahima sammoha malambate. Recite. Second line, even more exciting, interesting. Satankam nakharanjanim kalayati Sri Chitragupta kriti. Chitragupta. This Satankam is connected to the previous line also in one sense, because illusion will become atankam. Sa atanka netram. Damodara Ashtakam sa atanka netram means that Krishna is like fearful. Similarly, illusion is fearful, sins are fearful when you chant holy names of the Lord. Now, next point is Nakharanjanim Kalayati Sri Chitragupta Kriti. Chitragupta is the scribe of Yamaraj, assistant of Yamaraj, right? And his job is to keep on writing. My God, how many sins these people have committed. He's writing and writing. How many GBs of data he has, how many TBs of data he has, we don't know. Per soul. Not all put together. So as soon as somebody chants the holy names of the Lord, Chitragupta feels, I don't have to maintain this fellow's record. Right? One file deleted, one folder deleted. Right? So many TBs of data is saved. So TBs of memory is saved. So Chitragupta, he looks at the brilliance or the effulgence of the toenails of someone who is chanting the holy names of the Lord. See the word. Nakharanjanim kalayati Sri Chitragupta kriti. Nakha means these toenails. So seeing the effulgence of the toenails of someone who is chanting the holy names of Krishna, Chitragupta offers obeisances. Thank you so much for reducing my seva, for reducing my burden of record maintenance. Next point. Sanandam madhuparka sambriti vidhau vedha karodyudyamam. Vedha refers to Brahma, Lord Brahma. You know what he does? As soon as he sees someone chanting Krishna's name, Madhuparka Samhriti Vidhau, he will immediately prepare his Arti paraphernalia, including Madhuparka. Generally, in a typical Arti plate, we have Dhupa, Deepa, Pushpa, Arghya, Padya, etc. But when you are doing Shodashapachara Puja, you have Madhuparka also. When you are doing Abhishek, when you are doing some bathing the smaller deities in temple, the Utsav Vigrahas, you have 16 upacharas. So in a typical arati, you offer, dhoop, then deep, then pushpa, then other things, smaller arati. Tulsi arati is much smaller. Guru puja and then Mangalarti is little elaborate. But Shodasopachara is even more elaborate, where you put Madhupark also. Madhupark is a mixture of this honey and milk and ghee, etc. So, our Brahma, Vidhata, he prepares a big arti plate. Not just arti plate, it's like Shodasopachara puja plate with Madhuparka in it to worship that person who is chanting the holy names of Krishna. Not that we are eager to receive worship from Brahma in chanting the holy names, but that's a respect given to someone who is chanting Krishna's name. Right? Last line. Vaktum namnitaveshwarabhilashite bhumah kimanyat param. Vaktum kimanyat param. Just connect these two. What else can I say? I said four things about someone who is chanting the names of the Lord. One, his sins will tremble. Two, illusion will run away. Three, Chitragupta will worship him, will look at him with awe and reverence. And Brahma will do puja to him, worship him. Four things he said. What else can I say? Rupa Goswami is saying. Then all these effects are about whom? Namni tava Ishvara abhilashite. One who desires to serve Krishna, Ishvara abhilasha means there's an abhilasha, means aspiration, desire to connect with Ishvara. With a desire to connect with Ishvara, what is he doing? Namni, chanting the holy names of the Lord. If you chant the holy names of Krishna with a sincere desire to connect with him, then Brahma worships you. Chitragupta looks at you with reverence. Sins will run away and illusion will also run away. That is the effect of chanting the names of the Lord. This is how our acharyas glorified Krishna Nam in various ways. There is no end to this glorification. What's the time? There should be an end for the class. 6:33. I'm 3 minutes late. Okay, we'll conclude here. Many shlokas you can just go through. We can do tomorrow also. I was advised by the organizers and Maharaj to also spend half an hour to conduct a reflection session. So we can do that now. But before that, I request His Holiness Sachinandana Swami Maharaj to offer some comments, corrections, or anything, Maharaj, you want to share. This mic has to go there.
It's all. Hare Krishna. I was just, thank you very much for taking us through the verses of the scripture. And I think we all can see the benefit of just going through Shastra. And it's so nice to see your enthusiasm also. You infect us, Gauranga Darshan, in a positive way. Well, I was just thinking that these Kulina Gram Vasis came came each year for 4 months to Puri and they stayed with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and took the opportunity to ask him for instructions and the instructions were always the same: worship Krishna, worship the Vaishnavas, and do the holy name, chant the holy name. These were the 3 instructions. Now, there were 3 levels of Vaishnavas which were described. The first level, if he chants just once, Hare Krishna, he should be worshipped. The second level is one who chants constantly. And the third is one who by his nature inspires others to chant. You brought this out very, very nicely. And I know that this refers to 3 types of devotees who are on different levels, and they all are to be worshipped. And the reason for this, that all of them, even the one who just chants, when you tell him, when you meet him, Hare Krishna, and he says, Hare Krishna back, that person has raised the attention of Krishna. In the 6th canto, it is said that when Ajamir just chanted this Narayan reacted and said, he's mine now, he's my person, he has chanted my name. In other words, the Lord takes any pretext, even a small amount of chanting, to give his mercy to someone. I know Prabhupada felt himself successful when in Juhu he met the children, and on the way he told them, chant Hare Krishna, and they chanted Hare Krishna, and he came back glowing with enthusiasm. My mission is successful now, he said. I made this child chant. So the reason is because the moment someone starts to even say the name once, the Lord becomes attentive to him. And this is the other way, the other. Bhakti is a 2-way road. What the Bhakta does and what the Lord does for the Bhakta. And of course, when the Lord becomes attentive to someone, shouldn't we also be attentive to him? Shouldn't we also forgive them their small and big problems like this? This was my reflection. The reason why these Vaishnavas, the one-time chanter, the constant chanter, and the inspiring chanter who inspires others, the reason why they are to be worshipped is because the Lord has become attentive to them, and he takes it upon himself to now arrange out of his compassion the deliverance of that person. It may take some time, some arrangements take a longer time, but yes, this tells us, let us be attentive to the Vaishnavas, everyone, and learn to only see the good and not the other conditioned things. Hare Krishna. Oh, sorry. Can you please bring the microphone back? Oh, Krishna Murari is there.
Maharaj, these are okay? Should we do this or we have? Here. Hare Krishna. So we had 2 sessions today. Some reflections based on what we discussed. So this morning we were discussing many things from the examples of Akrura and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada, Avanti Brahman, the mood of entering Vrindavan, mood of being in Vrindavan. So you can just write 4 key takeaways from the morning session. Anything that touched your heart, anything that you could resonate with, any 4 points you can just write. Then second activity is, you can write your experience of any of your previous visits to Vrindavan or even this visit to Vrindavan so far, and reflect on how much is that in line with the journeys of Akrura and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this exercise is meant to realize the gap. Akrura was grateful. Akrura was feeling very humble that I don't deserve it, but still I got it. because of Krishna's mercy. So he had so many reflections, and we discussed only a couple of them. But those who have studied that chapter Bhagavatam will be aware of many more. So how far am I? How far my consciousness is from Akrura's consciousness while coming to Vrindavan? So maybe by just identifying that now could help us to be in a little better consciousness in the next visit to Vrindavan, or even the rest of our current visit. So maybe you can do this in next 15 minutes. Then should I say it now only? Let me say it now. Let's just turn this page, last page of this little handout given to you. First, what transformation have you experienced in your heart by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra so far in your life? Many of us must be chanting for 10 years or 20 years or maybe more than that, 30, 40 years also. Some must have begun few years back. But we must have experienced some positive impact in our life so far. Whatever that have been, you can just write. Then second is, identify the gap between your practical experience and the promises of the scriptures. So we have just seen multiple promises, Vepante Duritani Moha Mahima, and I was supposed to discuss this Shatru Chedeka Mantram also. And you must be aware of so many other glories of the process of chanting the holy names of Krishna as we read from scriptures. How many of those effects did I experience? So maybe you can just write them to some degree and then see the gap. Then what can we do to minimize that gap? What steps can we take to minimize that gap? So that's the second exercise. So 2 exercises from morning session, 2 from the evening session. Whatever is practical for you, maybe 10 minutes for this side, 10 minutes for this side, and 10 minutes for sharing with each other. That's how we can spend the next half an hour. Is that fine? Does it make sense? Okay. Once you complete this, you can turn to your friend, whoever is right next to you, preferably whom you don't know much, or if you know, up to you, and then share your experience.